早急に取り掛かるぞ。
East 1, the Dora is green dragon. The player is south.
I'd love to see some tile drawing magic here.
Let's see how this battle unfolds. Who's going to make the first call here? This table is so quiet I could hear a pin drop. Decided to pass on that edge weight. Things are at a standstill. And he calls on this to pass for now. Draws yet another simple. The player, 2 tiles to 10 high.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
Who's going to pull away from the pack? What to do with the still holding back? The air is tense as the players take their turns. How are the players going to approach this hand? Look at that Dora! No one dares to make the first move to play, still no calls. The air is very tense at this moment. Is this hand going to end quietly? The player, is it time for a call? That's one ugly Dora. One step in the wrong direction. Who will seize the win this hand? The player, one step in the right direction. Who will arise? Oh, there it is! That's a roan from the right!
The player on the right, a very favorable start.
The player on the right takes a modest lead. East 2, the Dora is the 5 of dots. The player is east. How does this starting hand look to you?
A quick 10 pie is very much in the cards here.
This is not an easy spot to work around. The player on the left makes a call out of nowhere. What's going to happen to this score gap? The player, is there any way to turn the tables here? One step in the wrong direction. And he calls on to the pass for now. The player, 2 tiles to 10 high.
The dots,
what to do with this still holding back? The player on the left already calls a second meld. Have things calmed down for the moment? There it is! The player on the right suffers an unexpected loss.
That was a speedy finish.
East 3, the Dora is the 5 of dots. The player is north. The player on the right is in first.
At the moment, this is anyone's game.
The stage is set. Anything can happen. The player, one step in the right direction.
The next few tiles could make a huge difference.
Doubled up on a tile that was just discarded. The player, first place is weak. The player on the left makes a call out of nowhere. The player, 2 tiles to 10 high.
This is the point where skill really factors in.
And he calls it a pass for now. Another useless draw. Doubled up on a tile that was just discarded. This hand is going nowhere. Who will come? What to do with this still holding back? How are the players going to approach this hand? The player is already 1 tile to 10 high.
This hand is very near completion.
No one dares to make the first move. The player, still no calls. The air is very tense at this moment. Oh, making a move here. The player, is it time for a call? The player, 1 tile to 10 high.
It's important to find the best possible weight.
The player on the left, that's a pwn. Have things calmed down for the moment? The player on the left continues to discard symbols. The player on the left discards another crack. Oh. Ah, jeez! Ah, jeez! That's roam from 2 players!
This will be a repeat of East.
East 3, 1 counter. The Dora is the 3 of dots. The player is north.
Let's see where this hand ends up going.
Now, let's watch how things develop. What's going to happen to this score gap? The player, is there any way to turn the tables here? The player, 1 step in the right direction.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
And he calls up the pass for now. The player, on a roll.
The next few tiles could make a huge difference.
What to do, still holding back. Oh wow, and there's a call. The player is making a move here.
This lifts a heavy burden.
Whatever happens, it'll be something to talk about.
This north could be kept as a safe tile.
The player across calls to form a still no calls.
Decided that dots aren't worth chasing.
Draws yet another symbol. Uh-oh, East has declared Nietzsche. There it is. The player across takes a beating.
This will be a repeat of East.
リーチ一発ピンフドラさんアレマル
East 3, 2 counters. The Dora is the 7 of bams. The player is north. The player on the right is in first. Somebody needs to put a stop to this madness.
What's needed is a roan off the point leader.
Is this a battle that can be won? The player, one step in the right direction.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
The player on a roll. The player on the left makes a call out of nowhere. What's going to happen to this score gap? The player, is there any way to turn the tables here? Draws yet another symbol. The player, 2 tiles to tempi.
This is the point where skill really factors in.
And he calls it a pass for now. The air is out. The player on the left. Here we have a con. The new Dora is Red Dragon. Another useless draw. The player, 1 tile to tempi.
This hand looks nothing like it did at the start.
What to do with this still holding back? The player, tempi. Still no calls. Nietzsche. There it is, Nietzsche.
The player across the table is assuming that it's an open weight.
Have things calmed down for the moment? The player on the right is on the defense against the player's Nietzsche. The player on the left is playing cautious. The player, can this hand withstand the heat? Ah, gee! The player on the left, what an incredible win off the wall!
Fine play, no doubt about it.
East 4, the Dora is the 9 of bams. The player is west. Heading into the final hand of the match.
The player has one final chance to make a big move.
Well, it's hard to know just how this will turn out.
Maybe it is better to hold back without any north tiles visible.
Any calls on this tile? It's a pass for now. What's going to happen to this score gap? The player, 1 step in the right direction.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
The player, is there any way to turn the tables here? Another useless draw. What to do with still holding back? The player's going for it.
That tile made it through.
There it is. The player across suffers an unexpected loss.
That was a speedy finish.
連ピンドラ
全然なってない。全てやり直せ。